Hi everyone, my name is Shauna in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. With 2025 quickly approaching, I thought it would be a good time to talk about my 2025 reading goals. I set some goals each year that include things like a reread of my favorite series and how many books I read and some other fun prompts because I find that it gives me a little bit of structure and motivation as I'm reading throughout the year. So without further ado, let's cover the 5 goals that I've set for 2025. The first goal is to reread the Harry Potter series. However, this year I'm changing it up a bit. So I have read some books in the Harry Potter series more than others, and I'm going to make it a goal to make that number be even throughout the whole series. So I won't be rereading the entire series this year because I'm trying to get the number even. An example of this is that I have read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone 6 times, however I have only read Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince 4 times. So in order to try and even out those numbers, I will be skipping reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone this year. Actually, I think I've read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone 7 times. I need to go back and calculate that. Anyways, so I want to try and even these out, which means I'm just skipping the first book in my reread this year so that I can try and get the other ones up number-wise. So eventually, after I get them like matching number-wise, I'll start back from the first book again, but I'm just trying to get them all even because it's been bugging me that I've read Sorcerer's Stone so much more than the other books. Each year I choose a series to finish, and this year the series that I am finishing is the City of Ember series. This is by Jean Duproux. So technically, I guess this is called the Book of Ember series, if I'm looking at the title correctly on Goodreads. Yeah, it's called Book of Ember series. So this is a kids and YA dystopian science fiction series, and I started reading this series when I was literally in the 3rd grade and I never finished it. However, because I have the final 3 books in this series, I'm going to be working on finishing this series this year. So there's 4 books in this series, not including the graphic novel, which I don't think I'm going to be including it unless I fall in love with like the other books in this series. So the 2nd book is The People of Sparks, 3rd book is The Prophet of Yonwood, 4th book is The Diamond of Darkhold. So I am going to read the summary of City of Ember in case you haven't heard about it, to give you a little sneak into what this series is like. People of Sparks is going to be so different from City of Ember because of the way that City of Ember left off, so I'm interested to see how that is handled. However, I'm worried that it's going to make it, so I'm not going to like the rest of the series very much. I also may rewatch the movie to get a refresher on the plot and the characters, although I do remember that it is very different. So on Goodreads it reads, many hundreds of years ago, the City of Ember was created by the builders to contain everything needed for human survival. It worked, but now the storms are almost out of food, crops are blighted, corruption is spreading through the city, and worst of all, the lights are failing. Soon Ember could be engulfed by darkness. But when 2 children, Lena and Dune, discover fragments of an ancient parchment, they begin to wonder if there could be a way out of Ember. Can they decipher the words from long ago and find a new future for everyone? Will the people of Ember listen to them? So this is a dystopian society that is under the ground, and it's a fight for survival for these characters to figure out how to survive and to get out of the city, and it follows these 2 kids. So it was a book that I was very passionately in love with when I was in the 3rd grade, and I got the final 3 books in the series and never finished it. So I am going to be working on finishing that series this year. That's how bad I am at finishing series, the fact that I have books from series I've started in the 3rd grade that I still haven't finished. My next goal is to listen to at least 2 audiobooks. I have a wide range of audiobooks I can listen to. I have stuff that like I technically got through a Audible subscription, which I feel like I should prioritize since technically money was spent on that, even though I share the subscription with my dad. My dad sometimes will be like, hey, I have an extra credit, you can get a book, and then I'll go get a book. So that's sort of what I do. I don't really pay for it myself. I also have a book that I won on a giveaway on Spotify, and I have one on audiobooks.com, I think it is. I have some on iBooks I downloaded for free. I have some on BookFunnel that I downloaded for free. So I have a wide variety of audiobooks I could choose for this. I just need to do at least 2 of them. I find that audiobooks are really fun, and I can multitask while listening to audiobooks to some degree. I just color while listening to audiobooks. It's really therapeutic. But I am going to be reading at least 2 audiobooks this year, which I believe is less than the number I set for last year. Could be the same amount. I cut back on the number of audiobooks and iBooks that I had for the goals every year because I felt like I set it too high. Then I want to read at least 2 iBooks, so I download a ton of free iBooks on my phone. I have so many books. Most of them are contemporary romances, so a lot of them do become sort of formulaic, but they're fun, they're free, why not read them? So I'm setting a goal to read at least 2 of those. Then my main goal, the number of books I want to read next year, is 70 books. It would be nice to hit 100 books because I have done that before. However, I'm like realistically upping it, and I think there may be a certain point where I stop upping it because I may feel like, oh, I don't want to push myself harder than I already am. And this year, I don't know if I'm going to reach 100 books. I do not. There's this app called Shonen Jump, which I think I'm going to do a free trial of and see if I can just read a bunch of the manga on Shonen Jump to up the number of books I've read, because as soon as Goodreads will load on my laptop, I'm going to tell you how many books I've read as of the filming of this video and how many days left there is until the end of the year. And yeah, I might not hit 100 books, but my goal technically was 65 books for 2024. So technically I hit that goal, but then I always set an unofficial goal of trying to hit 100 books because reading 100 books each year just feels so satisfying. And I could have reached 100 books, but then my book club read, is it Kingdom of Ash, I think? Yeah, Kingdom of Ash in December. I have like 30 pages left of that book. And Kingdom of Ash is so thick that it took up most of my December. So I've read 81 books. And today is the 19th. I'm looking up how many days until the end of the year. There are 12 days left. And if I want to get to 100 books, I have to read 19 more. And I'm gonna finish Kingdom of Ash tonight. After tonight it'll be 11 days, 18 books. That would be like 2 books a day for most of the days. Who knows if I'll be able to get there? Hopefully. But it's gonna be a bunch of like graphic novels and stuff, because in order to read 2 books a day it has to be like graphic novels and manga. But yeah, I hope we can reach 100 books, but who knows. So those were the 5 goals that I'm setting for 2025. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. If you follow along with my videos, you will see each month what books I read, and each month I try and update you on my progress on different reading goals. So like when I was doing my monthly wrap-ups this year, I'd be like, okay, I finished this book this month, which finished this goal that I set for the year. So I keep people updated pretty regularly in my wrap-ups about how I'm doing on the goals that I set. I hope all of you have a great end to your 2024, and I hope all of you have a great start to your 2025. I hope 2025 is an awesome year. I'm really hopeful that 2025 will be a great year, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Until next time, goodbye.